the thing is, nobody is pointing this out. Light-skinned women needs to be called out for this bullshit, because this is hateful. This is racism. This is true color. This is real colorism. This is disgusting. They hate themselves to the point where they're gonna degrade the light-skinned brothers and then keep it moving like they didn't just do something that's fucking demonic, bro. They don't want people to call them out. And that's why I appreciate the light-skinned sisters that call these bitches out, man. Mind you.
All right, shout out to the brother for like I was in that brother's. I was watching this live, and he's right. All right, you can't really blame light-skinned women for doing what they're doing because it's up to the men to call this out, not the women. The women are not going to change unless a man forces them to or tells them to. A woman is only going to do what you allow. And he's right. All right. The reason why light-skinned women continue to do this is because you light-skinned brothers won't chastise them. Y'all won't tell them to stop doing it. If y'all tell them to stop doing it, they're more likely to stop doing it. All right. The dark-skinned dudes ain't gonna tell them to do it because a lot of them ain't got no damn morals anyway, and they like seeing the confusion amongst light-skinned people. All right. They get off on it in other groups, and they always confuse the women because, like I said, she's the weaker vessel. And on top of that, how do you get people to overcome their insecurities? You get people in general, but especially women, by humiliating them in public. All right? The same things that these light-skinned broads are doing to y'all, these other groups are doing to y'all should be doing it to them public as well. All right? Of course, the scripture tells us that we want to be harmless as doves, wise as serpents and harmless as doves, but it's also something called an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. When you're dealing with so-called black people, they really understand one language. All right? They're not going to respect people, especially light-skinned people, based off of just general morale. They're not going to do that. When black people smell blood, they're going to keep going. They smell weakness, or they feel like you're trying to apologize to them or something, they're going to keep going. All right? So why am I bringing this up about publicly humiliation? They get off on publicly humiliating light-skinned men. And I got a video coming talking about how the roles are reversed, about how these women are humiliating light-skinned brothers, but it's actually supposed to be the other way around. All right? Now, I want to tell the story that I recently had last year where the topic of colorism came up when I was in class at my university. And we talked about this topic, and it was this light-skinned chick who was clearly insecure in her blackness. And how did I know that? It's because she dissed light-skinned dudes, one. And also, she had to dominate the racial conversation. And we see most light-skinned people, when they have to dominate, especially the women, they have to dominate the racial conversations because they're insecure about it, you know? And she was what I like to call a light-skinned loudmouth. All right? Basically, she's the most woke, and she had to be with the blackest man in the room. And I just I publicly humiliated her in front of everybody, you know, because it got heated. And I just spoke the truth. I told you one of these light brights who have to out nigger everybody. And I said it in front of all demographics of people. It was Asian people in there, Japanese, Pacific Islanders, everybody, black people. And the black people were laughing because they know it's true about light-skinned women and people in general, is that you have to overcompensate for your blackness. And it's true. All right? And it's not light-skinned women's fault or light-skinned men's fault. I keep tell y'all the most oppressed group of people on the planet Earth. They're hiding y'all identity from y'all. That's why y'all so confused. And I feel bad for the light-skinned brothers because it's embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. All right, to see y'all women to continue to do this, and when you a brother like who has wisdom and knowledge and understands certain things, and see how light skinned people operate, it's fucking embarrassing. It just is. But yeah, the reason why they do the stuff they do is because light skinned men, you will not scrutinize them. You will not chastise them. A lot of times it's because light skinned brothers have a lot of options, so they don't really give a shit. But a lot of times it's because light skinned men are indoctrinated by dark skinned people and their ideologies. Meaning what? From the time light skinned boys are young and kids in the black community, or when they're trying to fit into it, they get told that they are soft or emotional because they speak about their problems. They speak about how they're mistreated. And they say, they burst out, stop being soft. But if you look at all other groups of men, they talk about their problems. Dark skinned men scrutinize the hell out of dark skinned women. That's why dark skinned women always feel the need to prove themselves to dark skinned men. If you look at Asian men, when Asian women come talking crazy about Asian men hurry to make them damn podcasts to debunk what the hell they saying. But when it comes to the light skinned black American male, when you're scrutinized, you just quiet about the shit. Like you agree with it. And y'all let it happen because y'all tolerate it. And y'all don't get on here and y'all don't call light skinned women out on their insecurities and publicly humiliate them. That's how that's how people get over their insecurities, especially women. You have to publicly humiliate them, or you have to tell them to their face about the shit, their insecurities, and call it out. That's how you get over your insecurities. Call them out about how they have to suck the darkest rod in the room to prove that they black. And call them insecurities out. Alright? That's how you get them to stop doing what they're doing. And it's funny because it's this cat, shout out to that brother, I ain't gonna say his name, but he reposts my videos on Facebook in certain groups to, for light skinned people in certain groups. And he posted my video, and that cat, it was about light skinned women or something like that. And it was this cat that responded. And he was like, I don't know if he said, this dude is obsessed with, I'm paraphrasing, he said, this dude is obsessed with light skinned women. One video would be enough or some shit like that. And basically, he was saying I was obsessed. And then the guy responded who posted my video. I gave my email to him months ago. I might do that again for let you both send me topics that y'all want me to cover, and give y'all my email so y'all can tell me what topics y'all want me to tackle. But anyway, he was saying that he responded by saying this dude only has like 4 or 5 videos out of 130 speaking about light skinned women. How you say that for? And he also tells light skinned cats to date other groups of women. So I don't understand how you would come to that conclusion. And he said that I sounded hurt or something like that. And and he was a light skinned dude. And that's what I'm talking about. It's only the light skinned black male in America who gets scrutinized if he speaks about his problems. And that's the shit, that's the program that I'm talking about that y'all under by dark skinned people. Alright? It's only you who are obsessed when you speak about your counterpart and the shit that she's doing. It's not even a problem that they prefer darker men. Why are you getting on public platforms trying to humiliate light-skinned dudes? And she didn't do that in this video, really. But we know what it really is. But a lot of these females, they go out of their way to emasculate and humiliate light-skinned men and boys. And it's like a weird fetish that they have. And they don't have to do that. They can just be their light-skinned self. Alright? There's no such thing as dark-skin oppression. It never has been. Everything in the society has been to benefit dark-skinned people. The only thing that really hindered dark-skinned people was the crack epidemic. And that affected light-skinned people way more than dark-skinned people. Because they completely disenfranchised y'all. But that's another topic for another day. Alright? Dark-skinned people and dark-skinned men have, not all, but a lot of them built a system where they get ultimate promotion. They get promotion by white males in the media. They get promotion by dark-skinned women. They get promotion by light-skinned women who keep trying to prove their blackness. They get promotion everywhere. But the light-skinned black man is completely marginalized and shunned out of society, which could be that way for spiritual reasons. The Most High could just be, just trying to separate us. Maybe he got better plans for us. That's another topic for another day. But yes, y'all need to call this stuff out. I need to call them out for being light-skinned loudmouths. That's how you get them to stop doing what they're doing. Alright? The roles are reversed. She's trying to prove herself to black men, dark skinned men, when she's supposed to be trying to prove herself to light skinned men. The fact that you you listen to dark skinned men and women more than you listen to light skinned brothers, that's a problem right there. They don't have her best interest at heart. They don't give a damn about these light skinned broads. Look at them. They don't care about them for real. The only man on the planet Earth that can heal the light skinned black so called black woman's problems is the light skinned black man. He's the only one who can hear her spiritual issues. No other group of men, but she keeps running from him. One, probably because she could be intimidated by him, his looks. She could be once again, the black community and light skinned women, they have destroyed his image so bad. It's not viewed as being cool to even stand next to one. But you as a light skinned person, you shouldn't be worried about what dark skinned people are saying to you that much. It should be in moderation. But it's true, you brothers got to start calling this out. That's why they keep doing the stuff they're doing, is because y'all allow it. None of other groups of people are joining in on it. All right?
He's a single mother. What this brother just said is right at the bottom. He said, listen, if your type hasn't been working for you, why the fuck are you still trying to go for your type? If I'm a fucking...
And that's a fact. All right? These females are going here and they talk about how, you know, if a light-skinned dude, and it's funny because this dark-skinned dude who had a YouTube channel, I might react to his video. He was mocking light-skinned dudes about this stuff. This was like 2-3 years ago. He was talking about how dark-skinned men and white men, they pretty much brainwash everybody, especially the women. If a dark-skinned guy does something, it could be the evilest shit in the world. He'll get away with it. You know, he won't be scrutinized. But if a light-skinned dude does something, it's like the end of the world. And he was laughing about this shit, you know, and mocking light-skinned dudes. And I'm gonna find a video. I might react to it. And he was laughing about that. He was even talking about in relationships how if a light-skinned guy, if he burns the bacon, then that relationship is over. But if a black guy burns the bacon, if a black guy burns the bacon, it's okay. Like they just figure it out. And he was basically making fun of light skinned dudes because he was saying that when a girl gets with a light skinned guy, it's more like a fling type of thing, which is not a bad thing. That's actually the best thing you can be to me, especially in a society like this. Meaning women just find them attractive and they don't trust them, so they just break up with them before, you know, they can break up with them. But so when they're with a black guy, he's viewed as more like he has more morals, even though we know that's a goddamn lie. And it's kind of weird because when light skinned dudes do have morals, they view it as weak and corny anyway. But when a dark skinned guy has morals, it's kind of sexy. When a dark skinned guy, it's like he said, it's like they can't do nothing wrong. But when a light skinned guy does something, it's like corny, or it's like, you know, it's weird. That's a double standard, basically. And he was basically laughing about that shit. You know? Alright. So it was kind of, they was really making videos laughing about this shit. I'm going to react to it. I'm thinking about reacting to it.
Because black men don't do that shit. Carlton Banks didn't do that shit. No black women wanted the Carlton Banks. So Carlton Banks was like, fuck that shit. I'm going for this white bitch over here. Go for a different type. If you don't feel like you belong here, go for a different type. But a lot of women are so selfish and retarded that they're willing to just keep going. What's the definition of insanity? What's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same stuff, expecting a different outcome. That's the definition of insanity.
The same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Facts, yeah.
Black women, one nigga in the black community, one dark-skinned nigga in the black community having 12 of these bitches as baby mamas.
Facts, and it's not your job as a light-skinned man to clean up dark-skinned men's responsibilities. All right? I say it all the time. Now, we know that online standards are not the same as real-life standards, but a lot of light-skinned brothers, y'all gotta stop being so weak. Like, don't be afraid to speak y'all minds about shit, especially towards light-skinned women in a public platform. Don't be afraid to say, like, I went on a date with a light-skinned chick not too long ago. I said, I'm not taking care of a dark-skinned nigga's kids. I said that out loud in front of everybody. I don't give a shit, but she was mad as hell too. And I said that. And a lot of you light skinned dudes need to start saying it because that'll put that in their mind that they already know. And a lot of these light skinned broads already know. That's why they, after they get done getting ran through by black guys on the internet, they'll jump over and try to get with a white guy or something else because they know it's not going to work over anyway. And a lot of them know that they did light skinned dudes so bad that it just wouldn't be right to get with one anyway. So, yeah, and that's the difference between light skinned men and women is that the reason we have different identities, I'm gonna make a separate video about that, about our pathologies and how they're completely different. All right, our wavelengths are completely different. How we view ourselves is completely different. But the difference between light skinned brothers and light skinned women is that from the time that we're children, I already said this, we are rejected. So when you're rejected by everybody, you have to spend time by yourself. And when you spend time by yourself, you get to figure out who you are as a person. Versus light skin, like we get told that when we kids, we can't throw the football with the dark skinned kids. We're not tough enough. We're not this enough. Our skin not dark. You know, we can't date black women because this, that, and the third. So we have to spend time with ourselves to figure out who we are. Light skinned women they don't have to go through that. They're just now going through that. Light skinned women have always been accepted by the black community as long as they accept dark skinned ideologies and worship them. That's why you see now all of a sudden they saying, I don't give a damn if you accept dark skin ideologies or not. Your ass still getting kicked out. And they're having a meltdown and trying to prove themselves like that is because we don't have the same experience as light skinned men and women. We just don't. But shout out to the brother 4 Light. I'm gonna make a part 2. I'm out.